What's going on, everybody? Sonar here, pro circuit angler, and I'm more of a hands-on type of angler. I like to make sure that my equipment is running to perfection. And with today's outboard motor technology, they're really very reliable and really tough. But there's a couple things that I like to do as far as regular maintenance that really make sure that these will be running perfectly throughout an entire season. And one of the things that's really important, I think, that is overlooked, and it's really a shame that it's overlooked, is the prop. Taking the prop off to check for things that might have possibly wrapped around the prop shaft, such as fishing line or anything else, is really important. And the reason for that is that the prop shaft has a seal at the end that keeps all of that gear lube inside the lower unit. And so if you have something like fishing line, especially braided line, that gets stuck on there and wrapped around there, it'll compromise that seal and you'll have issues. And so I like to make sure that I take off the prop constantly to check for any of those things, especially if I'm fishing around grass or in shallow water quite a bit. So for my Mercury engine, it's really simple because I only need two things to change this prop. All I need is a good torque wrench with the appropriate socket and a 2x4 or something to just wedge in here to make sure that you're stopping the prop to allow you to loosen the prop nut. All right, so of course the process for taking off the prop and the tools needed are gonna change a little bit among the different manufacturers and the different engines, but for this one it's really simple. All you have to do is put the 2x4 underneath here, and that's just gonna create a wedge to allow you to loosen this prop nut. So on this engine, all I have to do, loosen it up. Once you get it loose to a certain point, then you can take the wood out and actually assist by spinning the prop. Careful, new props are sharp. All right. Now, it's really important to number one, read your owner's manual, but number two, make sure that all the washers and the whole assembly comes out in the same order. So I'm gonna put everything right here in the same order and take off the prop. Okay, and usually you'll have a thrust washer back here. Mine's integrated into the hub system on this prop. And right here you can see, got a little bit of grass, but no fishing line. Of course, I check it regularly, so I expected that. So just make sure that you look at that. What I like to do is I actually like to grease up the splines on the prop shaft. So get some heavy duty marine grease, keep it greased up regularly. You can kind of grease up where the seal is here, and then go ahead and put it back on, because we've done our check. Make sure all these washers get put on in the same way they came off. Tighten it up, and again we'll just help the wrench along by spinning the prop, and then once it starts getting really tight, that's when we take our piece of wood again and wedge it between the prop and the lower unit. And the biggest key when it comes to putting the prop back on is making sure that it's tightened to the proper torque levels. So refer to your owner's manual to figure out what specific torque your prop needs to be tightened to, and go ahead and do that. And we were there. Just remove that. Checking your prop is super easy to do. Don't be overwhelmed by this process. It's very simple, and it's something that's really important to make sure that your engine remains running perfectly for a very long time.